can't we see that the lecturer clearly assaulted this girl? He overreached his powers. Can't we see it? Now, it's not me just thinking it. Watch the videos again. I know many of you may just come out of a place of stereotype to just jump in and blame the girl. Now, that everybody saying it does not mean it is right. If the girl was assaulted and you all are blaming her, I will see the truth and point you to the truth. Number one, that hallway, watch that video again. That hallway had a lot of space behind the girl. The lecturer didn't need to touch that girl. The lecturer had so much space behind the girl to navigate if indeed he was in a hurry to go for a lecture or a meeting or something. And I doubt that he was in a hurry. If you watched that video again, you will see that he was looking at the girl's camera before he got to where the girl is. So he knew well beforehand that the girl was making a video. He was looking at the camera. And then he goes on to touch the girl and say, excuse me. Excuse me does not excuse the fact that that was an assault. You can't touch me when I don't want you to touch me. Lecturer or not, doesn't give you that right. And then the point where everybody is blaming this young, poor student, that she made her eyes and she talked down on the lecturer. Watch the speed with which the lecturer walked past her. If you calculate the amount of seconds of pause, if the lecturer was actually in a hurry, as he claims to be, the lecturer would have gone away from the hearing distance of what the girl said. He would have gone away. So it's most likely that what we saw as the lecturer being in a hurry on that camera was actually not true. Now see where it gets funny. The girl waits 2 seconds or 3 seconds and then says, can you imagine? You just touched me.
Excuse me.
Can you imagine? Just touched me.
What is rude about that? Besides, he was not saying it to the hearing or in the presence of the lecturer. He was saying it to his camera, to her camera. Now, here is where I find it funny that Nigerians can't see. First of all, the sister to the lecturer goes on Daddy Freeze's live and says, oh, the lecturer is a peaceful person. Oh, he cannot hurt a fly. The girl disrespected her. Come on, excuse me. The girl waited 2 seconds after the man harassed her, in my opinion. You can't touch me unless I give you the permission to. Elsewhere, in more civilized societies, no lecturer in America can do that. Only in Nigeria. And out of nowhere, all of a sudden, everybody seems to be pouncing on her. That is wrong. I've said I won't talk about these kind of things again, but the sheer amount of people turning on this poor girl, I cannot see this injustice and keep quiet about it. So I must talk about this one. Then the lecturer says he heard the abusive words. What abusive words? Can you imagine? That was not directed to you. That is the abusive words. How can he just push me? That is an abusive word, except maybe there are other abusive words that we did not hear. In my dictionary, that is not an abusive word. Now, guess why it is. It's very certain that the lecturer is a mischievous person. Very, very mischievous. If indeed he was in a hurry and he had a meeting or a lecture to attend, why turn back to come and meet the girl? Why turn back? Now, this is not from the girl's own perspective, from the lecturer's own submissions on video. He said that he turned around to go and ask if he was a student or not. Come on. Only a mischievous person would do that. Only somebody who wanted to abuse his power would do that. That was clearly not necessary if the lecturer was indeed a peaceful person. And then he goes back to the girl and says, give me your phone, and starts dragging the girl's phone with the girl. Watch that video again. Watch that video again. When the video starts, it starts with the lecturer actually holding on to the girl. That was wrong. In the Bible, it says children should respect their elders, their parents. But it also says that parents should not provoke their children to anger. That was clearly provocative. Even the Inspector General of Police has given directives that police should not engage in arbitrary confiscation of students or youth's phone. The Inspector General of Police has said that. Now, if the police will be told not to do that because they actually do not have the powers to, what rights does the lecturer have to forcefully demand to confiscate the phone of this young student? And you guys can see, and was dragging it. And the girl was dragging with him, and then now from the account of the girl, she says that the phone fell and was shattered. Who pays for the girl's phone? Clearly, the lecturer was responsible for that phone's fault, if her account is true. But from what we can see, clearly the lecturer was holding on to the girl. Why? If indeed there are scratch marks and fingernail marks of the man on her chest, that is assault. That's sexual harassment. And then he held on to him. What was the girl supposed to do? If you were my daughter, I would have, if she did not bite him, I would have disowned her. Because that was an assault, and all she did, forget all this biting thing, that was self-defense. What gives you the right as a lecturer to confiscate students' phone? And Nigerians are coming out in droves to defend you. It doesn't matter who they are. The truth must be told to you. If the majority of us do not understand what justice looks like, I think it's time people like us start talking. The lecturer clearly assaulted the girl, and the girl clearly defended herself. And if the school authority decides to look the other way around and follow public opinion or majority public opinion, then if I were the girl, I will sue. Because I hear people saying, oh, the school must rusticate her, expel her. Come on. This your phobia and hate for Gen Z is bad. Gen Zs are Gen Zs. Gen Alpha were Gen Alpha. Take it or leave it. Whoever they are, however rude and uncultured you think they are, it is our fault. So if there is anybody to blame, it is ourselves. Stop directing such vendetta, such blame to poor Gen Zs. They are Gen Zs. They like TikTok. Yes, who gave them the phone? What other things are they supposed to focus on apart from TikTok in Nigeria today? Tell me. Let justice be served. That lecturer assaulted that girl. Pure and simple. Whatever she did in self-defense. Lecturers should understand that because they are lecturers, they don't have the power to confiscate students' phones. They don't have the power to touch students without students' consent. It's not done anywhere. In America, even when you have an emergency services medical personnel, before they touch you, they will ask your permission, even in an emergency situation. That's where people understand what justice is. It was wrong for the lecturer to touch the girl without the girl's permission, whether he said excuse me or not, because it was unnecessary. There was enough space behind the girl for him to navigate his part. It was wrong for him to come back to the girl. It was wrong for him to attempt to confiscate the girl's phone, leading to the phone breaking. It was wrong for him to hold on to that girl. And the girl had the right to defend herself. Lecturer or not, The only thing at her disposal was at it. That's all she could use. The man was clearly bigger than she was. Nigerians, we must begin to understand what justice is, so that we don't just begin to throw our voices behind things that are purely injustice. This one, the girl did the right thing, and her rights must be defended.